I do think it has to do with science of the mind. I really do. Um, we are a chemistry, we have a pharmacy within us. We really do. And our nervous system runs on this pharmacy that we make. And the pharmacy is made by our thoughts, essentially. And when I first started doing this and Bob asked me, "What do you want?" In all honesty, it was a 3 month period of me asking myself every day, just like, you know, Jesus going into the desert, what do I want? He went there for 40 days. I was 3 months asking myself every day, sitting down, what do I want? And the first thing that I went through, the first iteration that I went through is, what should I do? So I did all the shoulding. And shooting on yourself is nasty business, just nasty. But I got it out of my system, all the shoulds, and nothing really resonated. Like I didn't get excited about it. And then I went through, what does everyone else think I should do? And I went through what other people, well, actually, what other people were doing. I started asking myself, what should I do? And then what are other people doing that I'm interested in? And I couldn't really find anything that I was quite interested in. And then I finally came to a point of, what do I want? Even though I asked it. And I journaled about it every day. And then I would go back and read it and say, that doesn't resonate. That doesn't resonate. But my nervous system was so in, I guess, a fight or flight that I couldn't really get still. I tried many times. I would turn on relaxing music, I would light a candle, and I would journal for about 10, 15 minutes every day. What do I want? And finally it came. It came. And when I finally realized in my vision of my life, if I could make money, that would be really great. Not so hard. I'd put myself in the hospital, overworking from exhaustion and just anxiety. And I wanted to have it easy. I wanted to have ease and flow in my life and enjoy life. Like I saw people,
Yeah.
enjoying their life. I wasn't enjoying my life. And when I finally thought, I think the cause to the effect is, if I could make money doing something I really enjoyed, then I would. And I wrote down skills that I had. I wrote down 3 times that I hit it out of the park where I loved what I did. And what I realized, really, what I love doing is, I grew up in the church, so I led worship. And I really loved that feeling of getting people to quiet down and be still for a moment. And when you're up there and people are walking in, everybody's had a morning, and, their kids are all over the place and, trying to settle themselves in. And then all of a sudden, through music and song and thought, people get really still, close their eyes, and you take them, to this place. And I knew I loved that. That feeling was really good. And I enjoyed it a lot. And I thought, what happens if I could do something like that? I didn't want to go back into music, though. I mean, I had a degree in it, but I was, kind of done with that. And that feeling was just there. And I just activated the feeling of what I loved. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't want to go back into music. So I didn't resist it. I just got into the feeling of helping people get quiet and learning about themselves. And of course, when I met Bob, it just resonated. I didn't know that was what I was going to do. People said, you should be a coach for Bob. And 3 times I said, oh no, I could never do that. I don't know. I don't know this stuff. It's too big. I know religion, but I don't know this. And then somebody said, you could have dinner with Bob if you decide to become a consultant. And so I was like, I could do that. It inspired me. I didn't know that was going to be the thing, but my thought had been, what would happen if I could do something I loved?
Yeah.
And I loved the idea of sitting down with him. What would that be like for me to sit down with him? And within a month, I was sitting with him. I'd made 50 grand in 2 weeks just by deciding. And I had been in, I think we all have dabbled in network marketing, and, I was really lost. And I got into network marketing and I couldn't sell a $180 auto ship, but I was able to, ask people, for a large sum of money to come and do a program with me. And they knew they could see the changes within me as I was working with Bob. And I said, I'm not, I have access to one of his programs. I didn't know what I was doing. I just had access. I was a facilitator. I had the mindset of a facilitator, of a master. I didn't come out swinging as a master. I was getting my legs underneath it. And I worked with him from 2015, yeah, till 2020. And it became a part of me. And I knew I had such a love for the laws that I knew I wanted to go in that direction. So he taught the laws, but he didn't spend, I wanted my career to be about that, about how to go for it and how to create and build yourself, your new self-identity. And that gift that he gave me, I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for it. I think daily sitting down and asking yourself, what would I love? What do I want to do? And it may go against what your family have said, even your spouse. Like, and I stayed married through the whole thing. It wasn't easy, but my husband was my greatest opportunity to solidify my dream within myself. He wasn't an adversary. He helped me condition myself toward it by his opposition, actually. See, when opposition comes, people will go right off the rails. But he was a gift to me to learn to do that. I started applying the natural laws, and I didn't make him wrong. I just saw this is my ability to find a way to communicate. This is my dream. This is my vision. No one will do it for you. You must do it for yourself. And to get that solid in you is a spiritual practice. It's not a I know what you're saying about there are steps. I do know what you're saying about that, but it's a spiritual practice. It's a daily method of operation. And learning the laws was probably one of the best gifts I gave myself.